This is episode 1 of my Tap and Barrel Bootcamp. What we're going to be doing in today's video, we're just going to be explaining the game of trading. I just want this video to be one that's going to set the tone for the rest of this bootcamp and also put you on the right track in terms of mindset, so you'll be able to learn the model and pick it up easily and come into the market with the right expectations. We're going to be starting with the way that I view the markets, the way that you need to view the markets if you want to trade the Tap and Barrel model consistently. How I view the markets, okay? So I trade something called mechanical, okay? I am a mechanical trader, okay? My model is mechanical. Now, what is mechanical trading? Mechanical trading is when you build your plan around fixed variables that are objective in the market. And what I mean by objective is this. So for instance, a previous session level sweep, number one, what do you need to define? You need to define what is a previous session level. Number 2, you need to define what is the sweep. Are those things up to interpretation or are they fixed? We are trying to get as many fixed variables as we can so we can create a model that trades for us instead of us trading for the model, if that makes sense. What is a fixed variable? So for instance, if we have a confluence called a break of structure, we need to number one, clear definition. Okay. Number 2, we need to consistently use this definition, because without consistency, we're nothing in the markets. And mechanical trading is all about consistently using the same definitions, the same confluences, and same fixed variables for every single trade. Okay. Number 3 into mechanical trading is use the same stuff. Now, what I mean by using the same stuff is, like I just mentioned previously, if we're going to make a plan, that is the plan. Okay. Let's say we have a 3-box checklist on what we're looking for in the market. Tick 1, tick 2, tick 3. We don't just randomly create a random other box that we're going to try tick as well. No, we focus on our main 3 variables. That also means that we don't just do 2 and then trade. No, we have to tick all 3 to trade, okay? All 3 need to be ticked, and there isn't 3 variables in the fixed model. This is just an example. Next topic I want to go through, and the reason why I'm laying this all out for you guys is just so that you have a good base moving into episodes 2, 3, and 4 so you can understand the model a bit better. Next, I want to talk about the relationship between RR, okay, and win rate. And a lot of you guys get this so mixed up. And a lot of the RR warriors out there just simply don't know how to trade their RR model. Like for instance, we in this model are going to be looking for a 1 to 3. Now that means that when we win, okay, that equals 3 times more than when we are losing, okay? We lose 1x and we get 3x. That is going to be the model that we're going to be sticking with for the future. Now, what does this mean? This means that we only need a 25% win rate in order to be break even. Okay? So in order to not lose or gain any money in the markets, we need to have a 25% win rate. That's 1 in 4 trades. Very low bar to hit. Okay? So I have a 40% on the swing lows and a 49% on the swing highs day win rate. Now that means that between 40 and 49% of the days I am winning, and give or take most of the time, depending on whether there's news or weekend holding and stuff, I am getting either a 1R loss or a 3R win. Okay, pretty much on average. Okay, you guys know my stats, you've seen all the shit, it's all in the Discord, you boys know. Okay, this means that if we do fixed risk to reward, now regardless of choppy price action, of what you're feeling in the markets, we're doing set and forget, we're either getting the 1 or the 3, that then gives us this law of probabilities that we need to follow. That then gives us this framework that we can basically trail in the markets, okay? But if we do some trades 2.2R, some trades 1.5, some trades 3.7, we're not going to be able to track our progress on a spreadsheet very well. We're not going to be able to predict our results. It's going to be harder to backtest because each time your R might be based on levels or based on different sort of confluences. We're not going to do any of that in this model, okay? I have the strong belief of if your levels got reacted off every time, if your TP levels hit every time, then why wouldn't you predict more? Why wouldn't you try to go further with the predictions? I believe that no one can predict the market. Price action is very, very random. Sometimes you'll just get random spurts of volume that will hit your TP. Sometimes slow volume will last throughout the whole night and you'll hold a trade for 2-3 days. Nobody knows what price is going to look like, okay? Nobody can predict levels. So I just like to go 3R every time to make sure the variables are fixed. like we say, fixed variables, same thing every single time, so I can't mess up, so I don't think that I did the wrong thing, and it's all the model's choice. Another layer on top of that is we're keeping it stupid simple. We'll call it SS for short. Stupid simple. You don't want super complex, SC. You don't want super complex, okay? Super simple or stupid simple, okay? This is the model that we're going to be running by. Now, we're going to move over to setting up your trading environment. For this, we're going to move over to TradingView. So, in setting up our trading environment, we're going to need some key things in order for the model to work later down the line. One of those key things is the fractals indicator by Rachel T. When you download the fractals indicator, you're going to have to just adjust a few different settings on here. One of those settings is going to be show zigzag. Untick this, and then you want to also make these two the same color. Okay, this is pretty much what we're going to be using on the indicator. Now, second thing that you're going to want to add is these tools here. You're going to need all of these tools, so I'd suggest you add them now. Okay, now I'm going to run through the trading environment stuff quite quick because I expect you to pause it, digest, and add this stuff onto your chart. I'm not going to spend hours on this. Now, you can copy my colors if you want. I'm going to skip through them after I've done all the needed stuff because the color stuff is just pure preference. Now, for the fib tool, we're going to be using this, so you're going to want to make sure your settings are the same as mine for now. Okay, so here, and then I don't think there's anything on here, and I don't think there's anything on here yet. These are just the default stuff that you're going to want to use. Okay, next, you're going to want these presets on your trend line tool. You don't need the money one. You can say Asian high, Asian low, BOS, London high, London low. You don't really need these two so much, but just these 5 mainly. Okay, you're going to want to set that to 1 pixel because it's so thick and disgusting otherwise. I see a lot of your guys' charts looking just disgusting. And then on the vertical line, I like to do 1 pixel and then dashed line just so that we can see the chart a lot better. That's going to be for splitting up session times later on in the series. Your box, you're going to want to make quite clear so you can still see price action through it. And here is what my long and short colors are, and then I'll go through my chart colors as well. So the line, there you go, stop color, there you go, target color, there you go, text is that, price levels, whatever. Same exact thing but opposite for this, boom, boom, and boom. And then the chart colors and the canvas, I've got a custom canvas color that you might want to add here. However, it looks very different on everybody else's chart other than mine. I don't know why that is, but this is the code for that. These are all the settings here. And then here is the body and candle border colors and stuff. And then these are all just black, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, so now you've got all of your setting up your trading environment stuff. Over to the pairs. Okay, now as you can see, there are a lot of fucking pairs on here. I trade Top Step and FTMO, so some of these are Top Step exclusive, relatively, in comparison to FTMO. And then some of these are just going to be mixed bag. Some of these are FTMO only. There's, there's loads of stuff that I'm running here. So I would recommend, if you're brand new, just get 5 or 6 pairs for the model. In this series, we are going to be running through the hybrid model, which is the more advanced system that I trade. But if you are running the full mech model, which can be found in the description below, if you want to learn that, the PDF's there. If you are running the full mech model, which is way more friendly to beginners, you're going to only want about 4 or 5 pairs. But since we're running the hybrid model, it's a lot more complicated. We filter down the pairs a lot more during the bias stage of the model. So we want a bigger selection so we can be more picky. So happily take a screenshot, add these if you need to. Once again, we're not going to be using all of these. And you also want to add these sort of category systems as well. So if you right click here and you click on add section, it'll come up with these and then you can rename them. I also categorize my stuff as well. Time frames wise, we're going to be the 5 minute, the 15, the 1, the 4, the day. And then I have the 1 minute just to check certain niche things on the chart. You might not need that, but it's definitely worth having anyway. In the last segment of this video, I just want to set your mental up for success. And what I mean by this is, I want to tell you what work is necessary for this game. So I've just opened my spreadsheet here, and this is just showing my transparency in this game because I know my model works, so I have absolutely nothing to hide. All these trades were either taken on FTMO, Top Step, Challenge and Live, and my live IC Markets account. This is all the R tracks in general, and then obviously we have the separate R tracks on here. Bringing me over to the segment of this video, I need this context on the back of the screen so you guys can really understand what I'm about to say. Thinking in terms of probabilities is a different level of thinking in terms of trading. You have to fully take yourself out of the moment and of that trade and of the feeling and of the charts and of how the candlestick looks and what your P&L is after, and you have to scope yourself over to the spreadsheet mindset. Now, what the spreadsheet mindset is pretty much closing your eyes and imagining yourself at a random point in the spreadsheet. Let's say it's this point. If you've just had a heater, are you going to expect more trades winning? Are you going to expect less trades winning? If you've just had 2 losses, what's your mindset going to be? Have you lowered or increased your risk? Or have you kept it the same? Have you increased or decreased your RR? Have you changed your model? Has anything changed? The answer to all those questions should be no. You shouldn't be doing changed RR, you shouldn't be doing changed risk, and nothing about the model should change regardless of how it's performing. So if we go over to here, we had a heater, obviously. Then we had a 4 loss streak, then a decent winning period, 3 loss streak wins, but as you can see, on the RR tracker on the right, we're drastically up. I think we're up 16.4 R in total on the 5 minute, on the FTMOs, and then 5.1 on the top step, and then on the 15-minute model, we're 3.3 R up. This is all since the 7th of February. So, running at about 25 R up since the 7th of Feb. But, as you can see, there is a loss streak here, and here. We've had 2 big loss streaks in these periods. Now, what would you do if you were experiencing this loss streak? If you were getting hit with 1% loss, 1% loss, 1% loss, 1% loss, would you lose faith in the model? Would you change anything? How would you be feeling? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself before jumping onto the model, because this is going to happen. There are periods of time where you do lose. That is trading. Welcome to the club, boys. Do you know what I'm saying? But since you have so much buffer, since you have so much past history, since you know how the model works, you should not feel any stress at all. You should not feel any negative energy. You should not have any negative thoughts. You might be a bit fed up, but once again, welcome to the club. So in these moments of losing, just understand the wins are coming, and if you do fixed risk, those wins are going to pay you proportionally, okay? Look, I did go against my plan one day here. This is the aim, boys. Transparency, so you boys can understand how this game works. I went against my plan by accident by misanalyzing. This happens. This is also part of the game. But what we need to be doing is, on our spreadsheets, when you guys start building, because that was going to be my note for the end of this video, I want to set a homework for you guys, but we'll get into that in 2 minutes, okay? When you start trading, and you start adding up all the times that you go against your plan, you'll start to realize that, holy shit, I actually would be up instead of down if I didn't go against my plan here. So that is why I track these, just in case there is that, but I've gone against my plan once in 3 months, so, and that was an accident, not on purpose, so a lot of you guys are on purposely going against your plan. Anyway, my homework for today's lesson, and just to wrap it up, and I know we've gone quite deep there for the first video, just to want to intro you to some mental and psychology topics and get your mindset ready for this, boys. Because the tap and barrel model is the future. It is the model. It is the forever model. It works. It has a mechanical, it has a hybrid, it has a 5 minute, it has a 15. It has a lot of variation that you can pick and choose in terms of what you want to set your mind to. I'm not saying changing stuff, but I'm on about which path do you want to choose, which model. You know what I mean? How do you trade? Well, how much time do you have? Are you able to look at the charts, or are you more of a kind of flick through your phone and just check alerts kind of trader? There's something for everyone in this model, okay? But my homework to you, after this, after you've watched this video, you've sat down, you've tucked in, you've probably made some notes, you've got yourself ready for the tap and barrel model. My homework to you is, get this spreadsheet made, okay? I call mine Berg's Tap and Barrel Global. Global just means like all trades put together, regardless of the pair, regardless of what we're trading, what time, etc. I want you guys to, first of all, go on Google Sheets, create yourself a live journal, and create yourself a back-tested journal, okay? Now, the reason why we want these is to just separate the results. You don't want to chuck your back testing in with your live, because then you don't know where you're at, okay? Because in back testing, you could maybe be biased if you're a shit back tester, so you don't want to chuck that into your RR total, okay? So that's my homework for today, for you guys. We're going to get into confluences, concepts, and the actual technical side of trading in the next episode. I just wanted to set your mindset up for success and make sure that you understand that you can make money from this game, and you can succeed, and you will succeed if you are disciplined with this model. Take everything I'm saying on board, instead of holding your ego and your guard up high and thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm showing you guys all my trading. I always get my journals up in the live Discord calls. I always get everything up. Every time I get a win, every time I get a loss, everyone knows about it. So I just wanted to set you guys up with, 1, trust in me and trust in the model, and 2, put some trust in yourself, boys. Make the change today. You know what I mean? Make today that day that you go, right, I'm going to stop with all this bullshit of me going against my plan now, man. This is the time I actually turn my life around, because right now, and I'm not going to put much lifestyle on this channel, but right now I'm in Phuket. We're going Bali next month. We're going Koh Samui the month after that. We're probably going to go Dubai later on. It is possible to achieve freedom with this game. You just need to knuckle down and stop trying to chase those big wins, stop being an RR warrior, stop using dynamic risk, use fixed rules, go to a mechanical system, and finally get a good fucking mentor, guys. Alright? I have nothing else to say in this video of understanding the game. This is the first episode of Berg's tap and barrel bootcamp, so to speak. But I hope you guys join me for the ride. We should do about 4 to 5 episodes, and this is going to wrap up your trading. They're going to be a bit of longer form. It's going to be a shorter series, but the episodes are going to be really powerful and really potent. So make sure you rewatch them, take notes. Once again, see you at the top.